watch me breaking. You'll swear you're falling into me. Touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking. You'll swear you're falling into me. Touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get ready for game number 2 of Evil Geniuses. The top seed here, as expected in the region, going against 4 Zoomers, who have been known to be just outside that realm of being in this, the inner circle that is EG and Quincy. Today coming up a bit short in game number 1, a very heavy-handed win for EG. I'm back with Jenkins and Sons fan now. And gentlemen, as we have all learned, it does sound like, unfortunately for the 4 Zoomers, they do have a player who's not feeling too well. I'm not sure if it's been finalized whether or not they will be playing in the second game or not, or if Mike will be stepping in their position. But obviously, unfortunate to hear, especially with this format, when you only have the one series, the one go, to not have all your players at 100% certainly is not going to feel good for the team.
I do have some inside information on that, and I did ask the gentleman, of course, if it was okay if I said this. He said, of course, it's fine. Otherwise, I'd be a real dick right now, like Greg, the UPS guy. Shout out to Greg. But so Husky, I think he is actually playing. It appears he got like food poisoning or something. He said that during that game he was like literally puking into a bowl. So it was not a good situation. I don't want anybody to think that like these guys are tilted or Husky's some like tyrant leader that's freaking out and they're making excuses for him. He's real sick. He's real sick. He said that he feels better now though. He got it out of his system, and I think he's actually playing, and he said that he hopes that it goes a little bit better. So we'll see.
All right. Unfortunate and disgusting to hear, but nonetheless, I hope that he is able to kind of get that worst part behind him, and they can somehow shake it off. It's
Jenkins,
that's life, isn't it?
Pictures, please. Did you ask for pictures, knowing you? I'm sure that was the top of the thing on your mind.
I did, and immediately he did indeed go into offline mode. So I think maybe there's some coincidental timing there. They got into the game, so I think that's probably what it was.
Glad to hear it's nothing like super serious. Obviously, food poisoning can have many effects. Like sometimes it just lasts for a full day or something like that, depending on what you get, or even more. But he is the drafter, you said, right? Because they've gone back and forth with the drafting, Dakota. So
not sure
that
who's
could
the drafter.
explain things. That could explain things.
I was gonna say I'm sure that he's ready to write off whatever this place is. But what if they come back and they win game 2 and they win game 3? Do you think that means they'll have to go back to that place again and continue to eat and then
whatever the food is,
and then just be like, that's tradition now?
If they do, then this will be a Michael Jordan performance with the flu against the Utah Jazz.
Here we go.
He came out of nowhere in the finals. Food poisoning, just like and actually in Utah,
70?
They purposely gave him food poisoning, and he owned.
How many points did he get
when you are sick, you focus even more. Yeah, it was 40 plus, I believe. He owned.
Plus. Yeah, it was insane.
There's a word for it. I don't remember what the word is. It's like it sounds like meiosis, but it's not meiosis because that's a different one. But there's like a state that your body gets in when you're in a like survival situation. If you're in like really cold water, you get like the shock response. If you're in like a sauna, you get like a different response. Puking would probably be the same. Working out, there's actually like an actual word for these like states. And you're right. Homeostasis. That's it. That's it. Thank you,
Shoutouts to
Michelle.
production who actually knew.
Yes, yes. So I imagine there might be some sort of positive, brain stuff that can happen from that. Maybe even physical with the cells. That's very possible. You never know.
This
Hey,
is
don't
that
laugh at
kind of.
that.
This is that NA logic you come for, It's like we're not breaking down Dota drafts and patterns and farms. We're talking about what the psyche is going to be like after this dude just barfed chunks out and he did not feel good. Now he's going to be in some sort of savant state where he's suddenly a god Dota player. That is the type of analysis we're hoping to break down here. We do actually have a draft underway now,
Wow.
and we see EG getting rid of the Centaur, and they even respect the Morphling and say you can first pick it. We're just going to get rid of it straight up. It does leave out some prominent options as they get rid of the Warlock and Viper. Are we seeing a puck?
Why?
No, we're seeing, of course, the Beastmaster.
Instant picks, by the way, but
they okay.
It's still freaking Beastmaster, man. It's still Beastmaster, and you still leave Puck. They're all in the pool still.
Well, I mean, here's a couple things to take in. All right.
Here's the glass half full response.
Woo! All right, so
you got this, Dakota.
How,
you got
how
this.
often has Abed played Beastmaster? You'd think, because he's only played the spirits and the pucks, and they've gotten him by all the way through up to this point.
He played it.
Can you tracker
that?
That
Once in DPC.
He played it once. He's played it in 33% of his DPC games so far this season.
Okay. Yeah, he's good. I don't know what else to say. Well, I mean, Zoomers picked up the loan and Enchantress immediately. This has to be the week-long, pre-thought-out draft. They were in the room. They had the bulletin board, and they're like, boys are going to pick this, and then we're going to go this. And then we're getting the Lone Druid, and we're getting the Enchantress. And it's going to be perfect. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so Mirana, now you can kill the Enchantress creeps. See if they get some sort of setup. Obviously, there's the roar into arrow, but see if you have something more for the laning stage. Looking good so far.
Am I off my head here, or do you guys also feel like the Beastmaster axes are actually quite good against the bear? Like this hero
I think so, yeah.
sits there with the bear, and then he's like, "Aha! My real hero is far away from you. So now you have to commit to my bear." And then Beastmaster's just like, "No, I don't." He just throws axes. 3 axes in. The bear's at 20% HP. He resummons it. Aha! I have another one. You surely don't have any more spells left. Keeps throwing axes. Does it again. 5 seconds later, both bears are dead.
And it only gets worse because once you get that talent for the primal roar at 20, like you have no problem roaring a bear.
No,
that's your hero.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. People commit a lot of I was literally just playing a game with Arteezy, and he was screaming at us to focus. It was literally against Gunner. He's like, "Just kill the bear, kill the bear. This hero's shit. Kill the bear." Like people try to kill the hero, kill the bear. It's like, okay. Well, actually, funny, it's Arteezy versus Gunner in this matchup. I wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, I guess they've been mentally preparing for this Gunner Lone Druid. Funny enough. And preparing in pubs too.
They certainly have seen it. It's not going to be anything new to them, whether they saw Gunner play it already in DPC or have first-hand experience because of the high NA pubs. I'm just curious if, for Zoomers and Gunner, they're this confident that it's like Lone Druid's a win against Beastmaster. And with the Enchantress kicker, this is it. We have the answer. I mean, I've seen all these other regions do this same thing where they just let the Beastmaster through and they're like, "We've got it. We know what to do." And then they just get their ass beat and everyone goes, "Ice Frog, please."
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
I like the enchant. I mean, we saw them do it versus the cut, this exact hero. They had Storm Spirit as their other answer, but I do think Husky in that game where he was playing Enchantress versus the Beast, his control of the enemy trying, that is hard to deal with. You're not going to get stacks up, but then the question becomes,
was trickled from our past media day, but Ice 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 mentioned somewhere that he was upset that the Agnum's build is a thing because he liked it when it was a thing as a meme and he would do it in the off lane, but now it's like a thing and he's like, now it's just a thing. So I don't even know if he wants to do it just because it's too meta and on brand. He's like, I got to do something that's a bit off the, off the radar.
Off of memory, the last time 4 Zoomers had Lone Druid, I believe they coupled it with a Dark Willow. position 5, I'm pretty sure.
The double
Not sure
fear
if that's
strat.
Yeah, that's the reason I remember. And the other team took Bloodseeker instead of 4 Zoomer. That upset me greatly. So just throwing it out there as a potential possibility. They might have looked at the panel replay and saw my amazing idea and maybe implementing into their strategy here.
Well, I thought you were their
anything
coach
could help.
with what you said with like the voice packs and stuff. You're pretty influential with the Zoomers.
I'm trying to go up. I started as a team owner, second at TI, and now I've dropped off a face of a cliff. So now I'm starting from the ground up.
Sounds
the voice work is the first thing. Got to move myself up to coach eventually. Like we still got a couple rings to go first, though.
Yeah, you hit rock bottom, and now you're, well, still there, but looking up at the top, and you're like, I could probably
at least
get there.
See, yeah,
a little bit of light.
See the light at the end of the tunnel
up there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, some intriguing stuff here. Bans on the Spectre continue to come out, even though the hero never seems to make the playing field. It's always just a cautionary kind of global ban, I suppose. But then the Visage, another intriguing one to come. I guess something that Brax has flexed a bit in the off lane. They could fear would be there this go around, but they should really be banning
Sammy
the Tinker,
Boy,
right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Tinker, of course. That's something to behold, definitely. Sammy Boy Visage. That's a classic. This was a meme back when I was actually playing with Sammy Boy. We would always give him shit because this one time he was very excited to tell us. He's like, "Oh, I don't know, guys. I beat VP with Visage at WESG," and he would bring it up all the goddamn time. Like, oh my god, he wouldn't shut up about it. It's like, Sammy Boy, who's WSG? Is everybody's playing with 3 stand-ins? And I mean, so we gave him shit about it. And anytime he would recommend it, we'd be like, oh my god, the Sammy Boy Visage. The fans aren't ready. We can't deal with it. There's no way. But now he's actually picking it, and yeah, not since VP. But now they're actually picking it, and he's on a top tier team. So Sammy Boy was right, and we were left.
Damn, Sammy's not going to be able to play it and get a win, and we could ask him about it and have a new feather in his cap besides the VP one of
God,
old. But
don't ask him about it. He will not stop talking about it.
Will we see him though do a bit of what we saw E.G. Arteezy do, and instead take raid on something like this Tiny in the core Tiny position? I think Arteezy was the only person so far who played this Tiny in the 1.
Yeah, it looked fine because EG's won every single game, but I don't know if it's necessarily good here. I actually don't know what makes Tiny position 1 good, because I do like the idea, but the problem is you can't get Blink Dagger, so you need initiation on your team, because you want to go for like the SNY Mask of Madness or whatever the hell the build is these days, Echo Saber, whatever. And then until you hit 20 minutes, you can't really truly become
it's
what you're
weird.
supposed to be,
Yeah, it's so strange. It's like the 2 things that I think would make this hero valuable that you could argue is that he's an early game presence carry, like a PA hero, for example. Okay, so it's not Tiny carry, but
it's double bear strat again against the Beastmaster. So we're seeing kind of the same thing.
Team
from 4 Zoomers
Bare
previous
necessities.
Series.
That's right. Back at it again, but it's looking like a 4-position Tiny, if that's the case.
This is a very nature kind of style lineup from Zoomers here. Like you got a rock, you got like a nature guy, a nature girl, and then a bear. They have the whole woods. They just need nature's prophet.
Nature's prophet for Brax, and we'd be set.
Okay.
And that'd be a good theme. Venomancer, what the hell? Wait a minute.
I mean, unfortunately, Sprout wouldn't hold up too well against the constant axes coming out.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, usually the counter to Arteezy is Sprout, right? Because he doesn't get Battle Fear on some of these heroes.
Yep.
So, sadly, Beastmaster's the counter to that. They're just thinking ahead.
So, I mean, I feel like Ice is, you always, like, it's got to be Ice Tide, right? There's no way they pick Tide and give it to somebody else, but...
Well, Fly 5-position Tide?
I think 5 Tide is good. Like, having a 5 hero that's such a low farm priority that you have to worry about with this big ultimate, it's like Warlock. It's like you have to kill him first, otherwise he just ravages you, but then you're killing a Tide with Kraken Shell. I actually think it's really good, but I don't know. I hate to see a Tide on EG and then not have Ice playing it, but he is against Ursa, so I think probably Veno will go against Ursa.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, does Veno just own Ursa in lane?
He does.
That's the case, then yeah, they're probably thinking to swap. I think Fly did play 1 Tide Hunter game in Season 1. I think. I don't have any recollection of him playing Venomancer. So,
yeah.
So they don't really have any necessarily a stun to set up Mirana era, but Gale's pretty good. As long as you can predict, a few few feet away.
Broodmother ban
Brood.
with Tide and Beastmaster,
Yeah.
who's going to go the Axe build. They just don't want to get cheesed. Interesting.
I mean, what else does Brax play here? There's still Mars, but Mars has felt very underwhelming unless it's like set up with some really good team fight.
Yeah.
We saw Sand King last game. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if we can take into account that game at all, just because it was a mess on all accounts. I don't think it had anything to do with Sand King necessarily.
I don't know. What is your off-lane answer here? I mean, you have jump and fight and brawling, I guess, a bit between all of these, but
I think this language that PPD was using the last time he was casting, like this assassin type here. Okay, they go for the natures. So carry Arteezy, natures, very cool. But I think Zoomers need some assassin to jump the Beastmaster. I don't see anything that's going to actually be able to get on top of the Beast. I think if these fights go prolonged at all against this like Veno Beastmaster spamming axes, they're going to lose horribly. They need somebody to actually jump and do something, but I'm not sure what that hero is from the offlane. I suppose Mars is not the worst. Darkseer. So they surge the Ursa past. Okay, I see. That's how they're going to do it. Just buff up the Ursa.
Not a melee, though. All right, some fun stuff coming out from both sides here. A core Arteezy, Nature's Prophet. There's the 5-position Tidehunter to go with it, too. So, final thoughts. Suns fan, you first. Fast.
Yeah, I agree. 4 melee against Venomancer, against Tidehunter, against Beastmaster Axes. How do you win? EG.
Yeah, you gave away Beast, and I don't see anything that counters it here. Because nothing does. So, we'll go EG.
All right, Evil Geniuses got the Beastmaster. Will it be enough to score them to 2-0, or 4 Zoomers take us to a game 3? We head to a break. When we return, we got Trent, and we got PPD and Pop-Tart on the obs.
Beep, dirt.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So for Zoomers EEG, it's Trent and PPD here with the coverage, and we are hoping for a little bit of a better game 2. PPD is in our future.
And I have seen very few second pick drafts be successful when Puck and Beastmaster were not their first 2 bans. And for Zoomers, coming in very, very hipster-esque, right? Asking, say, first game we're going to try and beat the Puck. Second game we're going to try and beat the Beastmaster. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to really work out for them. Panel was kind of harping on it. I really do think Beastmaster is kind of just a broken hero at the moment. They did pick the Enchantress, which shuts down his boars. But these mid Beastmasters, they just max axes and farm jungle until they have Ags. And then it's, let's go use 5 sets of axes on Roshan. That's dead. They give the Aegis to the Beastmaster, and then he just walks around the map killing everyone.
Yes, they seem to be going for the Suns fan, I believe it is, Art of War, with knowing your enemy, right? Just give them the OP hero, because then they'll pick it.
Maybe
true. That's the next level strat.
Yeah, that is one set of logic, and you as the first pick team are always a little bit suspicious, thinking, wow, guys, are they really going to give us Beastmaster? Oh, they did. Should we even take it? And yeah, the answer is yes this patch, because it just is that broken, I think.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah, don't let the mind games get to you, And we're gonna see Fly on the 5 Tidehunter.
I do love this pick. Not looking so hot right now, but the toss gets used, so instantly goes to the TP.
He's good.
Oh, look at this. Fly, the superior Tidehunter player. Some of that maybe from his offlane days as Simba, maybe? I don't know. 27-4.
He played it a little bit.
7.1%.
Yeah, he played a little bit last patch, and I don't think it's too bad, right? Like, you're the melee hero. You're basically being the tank for your lane, making sure that Arteezy doesn't have to invest any of his gold into regen, right? Tide may tank a death or two, but as long as Arteezy can get up his, his treads or whatever he decides to go with his first 1,000 gold during laning phase, he can do that. And
Minus
in the
armor,
mid
good.
game, yeah, in the mid game, you're always gonna have a Ravage, right? Who doesn't love team fight?
I'm thinking it's pretty good. And Arteezy on the position 1 Nature's Prophet. This is something that we've seen quite a bit in the South American games. Seems like a hero that's fairly popular down there, both in the mid and the 1. Just that early game pressure and presence that you can have, just like showing up to any lane and actually getting involved. Plus the ulti is still bonkers.
Yeah, I think Arteezy loves to play this hero. When he's, it's like 3 a.m. and he's like queuing his last pub of the night. He doesn't want to deal with anybody. He just wants to like farm and right-click heroes. He goes Furion, just plays his own game. He actually dominates on it. He's actually really, really good at this hero. So I mean, it is a little bit of a unconventional one-position hero, but I think the real carry is going to be Abed on the Beastmaster once he gets the Ag Scepter. The damage is just absurd.
Yeah, Arteezy's losing one of his treants every time here from the Eng, so a slight nuisance, but in the end, still hoping to have a pretty good farming time. So at the top lane, we had the kill there, and that was a level 2. Darkseid, always punishing the level 1 with only the Ion Shell, but that was even post-Surge. He still got there by crit, so a very rough start now for Brax as he's forced to pull the wave, and crit's still just right here for this.
Yeah, he's got the tough job, playing 1v2 up here, probably getting a lot of right-click harass, and crit, not joining his team yet down in the bottom lane, doesn't want to necessarily play into a tri-lane. Their heroes are maybe not the best, and yeah, it looks like they're going to lane swap, bring Venomancer down here, tell him to take the tough lane.
Big buff for Nature's Prophet players, right? You don't have to buy TP scrolls as much as everyone else. There you go. Those things getting expensive.
That is true.
Huge economy gains.
Yeah, I think this hero got nerfed a lot, like especially like 5-position Prophet. I would play it a lot, but when everybody got their own couriers, and then everybody kind of had like almost what seemed like unlimited regen, right? Because they just kept bringing Salves and Tangos. It's like that was one thing Prophet had over the other heroes, was his ability to like be his own courier.
Yep. Now a little swaparoo again. Husky's going to join the top, so they want to at least get that counter back in action.
Yep, and Brax is jungling 2 games in a row. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him, but they've managed to do it 2 games in a row where Brax is not playing a lane before 4 minutes.
Yeah,
that's not good. I think this game is like the patch is all about how well are your side lanes doing, and because the mid lane is always fine because there's so many runes and bottles.
Feels like it's the cost of Ocean attempting these roaming plays. Like he's going mid right now with the smoke, hoping to catch Abed. But I mean, this is a level 4 lone druid. You're gonna have to get a little bit lucky here if this works.
Yeah, Fly's like trying to figure out. He's like, what's going on? Like, I don't have to lane against anybody now. I thought I was against a tri lane.
Yeah,
like,
now
where-
Crit is just fighting Husky. Is that they finally get that toss in the mid lane?
Oh,
They actually do
did.
get the root. They did it. Abed, he's gonna go down, and Husky escapes to the top. All right. The patience was worth it, it turns out. And now they're going to get that water rune. And of course, we have this whole situation with the lone druid where he controls all the runes with this bear. Seems to be the whole point of this strategy.
Yeah, it is. But this is sort of, I mean, Lone Druid isn't really that much of a ganker, right? Also, like, he can't really take advantage of power runes the same way other heroes can. So in that sense, I think he's a bit of a disadvantage. And yeah, I think these mid carries feel great when you have strong side lanes, and that doesn't really seem like the case this game. Ursa's doing just fine though up top.
Yeah.
So not all lanes are a disaster for 4 Zoomers like in the previous game.
Just the one that they've abandoned.
Just the one they've abandoned, yes, of course.
It's just very painful. Fly even going to get a ward down by the Secret Shop to ensure if there are any rotations that he will spot them, as it's a very early earn. Now out here from Ice says he is earn. He has raindrops. He's basically unkillable up top. Arteezy getting the swipes on him, but he's going to hide amongst his little sapperling treants. Stay alive. And no further threat there.
Yeah,
I want more
doesn't really want to play against a tri-lane, but may not have a choice.
Yeah, things are just gonna chill. I mean,
Yeah, I think they also sort of live and die with like early game fighting and skirmishes. And I'm worried that EG, you know, with this Venomancer wards, a tanky Tidehunter, the Ghost push with the Beastmaster and the Furion, the split push with the Wrath of Nature. Like, I feel like EG is going to be able to dodge these early game fights and just wait for that Beastmaster to get Ags and poured in from bottom from Artesian Brax here. Great sprout.
yeah, they're pressuring. Very easy kill. Even have the Treants up there just in case at the end. Ooh, Brax once more. Just actually no game for 2 in a row now. Finding himself at the bottom of the cores.
Yep, not doing so well. Wonder what dissuaded them from just going with like a traditional, you know, tiny Darkseer off lane.
Yeah, just like actually playing together a little bit more. It seems like they just maybe can't handle the laning concepts of whatever EG's thrown at them. They can't control the lane, the wave, the camps.
Not sure. I don't feel like Furion Tidehunter is that terrifying of a lane. And looks like they're gonna try to make something happen here. Arteezy
Finally,
committing
yeah,
for the
toss.
tower.
That's a lot of damage. They'll catch him. Raindrops and all. He does go down. It'll cost Ocean his life. Hopefully not Brax as well, but with the urn, yeah. No surge for a while. So,
Yeah.
I mean, worth?
Urn is a very like underappreciated item this patch. I think it's actually really great for like these early fights where you're still in laning phase because it gives you so much more damage and sustain that you regularly wouldn't have. It's, you know, not really picked up by 4 positions or 5s anymore because of how good and cheap Solar Crest is. So your 4s will always go like Aether Lens or Blink Dagger, and then your 5s always go Solar Crest. So Urn is, you know, kind of like a position 3 only item at the moment.
Yeah, I think like in terms of 4s, it's like, yeah.
I was gonna say even the 3s, you know, Vanguard is so cheap this patch too. It's like often like it is like these ranged 3s like Venomancer, Death Prophet, maybe Viper, that can consider Urn. And I think it was a really good choice. It's very strong in the right game, and it can be very useful later on.
It just fits what he wants to do, right? Just wants to plant, you know? Have that sustain, just chill wherever he wants to be on the map, never have to go home.
He's kind of the strongest hero in the game with the free farm and solo experience that he's gotten, so I definitely think it's a great item to sort of push your advantage.
They have found Abed trying to farm up towards the Agams, of course. You know where he's going to be on the map, so you try and contest him there, but it does not go well. The ulti comes to the Nature's Prophet, and Husky can just hope to sproink himself away here.
Yeah, they'll let him go.
Quick rotations. I love this defense of the Beastmaster, and at the same time, they're also getting aggressive on Sammy Boy, driving him away from that tower with a level 9 Venomancer. No points ready for the ulti, but not going to be needed. Maxed out Poison Sting and Plague Ward is a bad place to be for an Ursa. As they do at least get the mid-tower fly. Oh, no. No chance to deny.
Really good pick from EG and that 18 slot. You know, 4 Zoomers picked their carry on 17, sort of exposing it to a counter pick, and Venomancer is probably the best one-on-one Ursa counter, for, at least for the laning phase.
Yeah, we see it banned constantly. I think it's banned far more than it's picked, and it's almost always leading into an Ursa pick after.
Yeah, it's yeah, if you're planning to play one of these melee heroes who can get kited by Veno, like, that's just not a place you want to be. It's too much harass, too much damage, and then you do lose your tower often early. And look at this. ISI not disappointing, going with the Vanguard that we were sort of talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you see Hood on these ranged heroes. Vanguard a little different, but very, very meta because of how cheap it is this patch.
That's not a good sign. When the range heroes are buying Vanguard, we got a problem.
The item is definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah. All right, they drop the wall into Arteezy. Ocean's here as well. He's waiting for the last second for the stun. Wants to get all the value he can. Good choice, because it could have been a little bit dicey there, as he does throw out the ulti there before he dies.
Actually feeding.
Actually feeding, yeah. Nature's Prophet players, typical.
Just, you know, caught split pushing a little too far, taking away you probably doesn't need to be at. Could have easily farmed backwards. But nonetheless, like I mentioned before, he's not really the real carry this game. It's going to be the Abed Beastmaster, who's about 1,900 gold away from his Ags.
And we're good to go at that point.
Yeah, that'll be go time for EG, where they'll probably look to find a kill somewhere right around the mid lane and then directly into Roshan for that first stages.
I feel like they're almost trying to bait something with this bear here. Like Ocean wrapping around, Brax is coming in, but can they actually get something? Ava into toss.
This is a good...
Right past the Plague Wards. There we go. Moonlight Shadow. The Ravage used, but it's not in time. They got him under the tower. The vision, the damage. They got to bring this guy down with the Vanguard.
Imagine a Venom ult right
for
there.
A while.
Imagine a Venom ult.
Seriously.
That was... It was a great play by four. Oh no, he ticks out. Great play by four Zoomers. I think EG was very over aggressive. As I mentioned, they're still waiting on their item timing of the Aghanim Scepter for Beastmaster, and if you're not playing with one of your strongest heroes, then you're probably going to lose the fight. And the mid hero is oftentimes the highest level and sometimes the highest net worth hero on your team.
And as you say, that was only 36 XP away from level 10. Could have even gone for it potentially on the ulti. That gone a bit different. And TP's back mid. And we'll just continue to hold this as Crit is going to find Gunner in the jungle. They have an OBS though, so shouldn't be any concern of the bear. And Crit going right for that Solar Crest. As he said, excellent item. Just fine. I mean, best heroes for it this game, probably just going to be Arteezy and maybe a little bit for Ice Ice Ice. It's not, they don't have a hyper carry necessarily, like your Jugs or whatever, but always a good pickup nonetheless.
Yeah, it's just way too cheap and way too valuable at the moment to pass up. Incredibly valuable. You can use it on the enemy carry. You can use it on Roshan. You can use it to help you push the tower. Very useful item. And it makes you tankier, right? Just you yourself.
Yeah.
It's all about how many spells do you get off in a team fight, and if you're not tanky enough to survive the initial array of damage, then you might get 0 off, which is very bad.
Another really difficult part about this game for the Zoomers is that their off lane is the poorest one, and that's where you tend to get your aura items versus this Veno. And Brax is not going to be one of these pipe Greaves early game kind of Darkseers. I'm not even sure what he's going to go for first. All right, now he queues up into the mech, so he'll opt for that as his first choice.
Yeah, mech is... There's a couple of offlane heroes I think that are popular right now that buy mech. Darkseer, maybe Underlord as well. This item can be really great for those early team fights. I find it hard to believe it's going to be enough to offset the damage that this Beastmaster is going to be bringing, but we'll have to see how it goes. They definitely have some gap closing opportunities with a surged Ursa. EG only really has 2 reliable stuns, and if he has Enrage on during those stuns, they're not really going to last that long, right?
Yeah, they have a ward here spotting these movements from Ocean and Brax. Ocean, no Quelling Blade as well, so there's a chance they could set something up there with the Sprout and the Arrow. I feel like Crit's kind of pinging around, seeing if they can find that angle. I feel like he should probably have a Quelling Blade.
Oh, he wants the blink, man.
I know. The value's too much. All right, as long as he doesn't die because he doesn't have it, it'll be worth it. Gets the Ava. No toss, though. They have the vacuum, but... All right, there we go. He was hoping to wait and see maybe he'd start his TP already, but Crit's too big brain for that. Throws out the Moonlight Shadows. They're also going in the mid lane on the Gunner. The Roar gets thrown out. He did get the ulti off in time, but it is not nearly enough to save him. Yeah, you better run, Husky.
It's over.
Chop that
go,
deer.
guys.
Oh, 1, 2. Get me some venison. Oh, doesn't even need it. Oh, oof.
Well, it was a good try from Dire. They fought valiantly.
Oh, yep, Sammy boy. He's got the Battle Fury. He can cut right through, but guess what? There's 2 trees there, so you got to go the other way now. Avalanche trying to save him, but there come the axes. Arteezy will get the final hit. Now Ocean. Oh, they want some more.
Dude, the Twitch
axes.
chat meme
One.
with the frog with the axes on both sides.
Yeah, it's time, guys. Get him out.
Get the frogs out.
Start the spam.
Unfortunately, I've seen this. I've seen this game too many times. I've been here before.
Do you have any counters that you like that you've seen versus the Beastmaster? Anything that teams has picked up?
Rubik mid with Aghanim Scepter, first item.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
I also
pretty
think
quality.
I think Spectre can be pretty good, right? Just you gotta find like you can't take long fights against Beastmaster. You gotta you gotta get on top of him and you gotta kill him, because if you just let him cast axes over and over and over, there's no way you can win a fight. It's too much damage.
And this is not a burst heavy lineup. It's like tiny. I mean, I guess Ursa is too, but Ursa needs items to be like that bursty and scary.
Oh, and Dire going for the Roshan, but scouted out by
They gotta
us.
find something, yeah. And they're a little bit too on the nose there, as they'll even get the D ward on the obs that was placed in front of the pit there too. They instantly smoke though. And they've drawn a big wraparound. They want to go all the way down through the mid, past the tower they've killed, and wrap up the ramp. Gunner gonna play dumb in the mid. No, my entire team's definitely not smoking around me. Oh, here we go, RTZ. Found by Ocean. Can he get him? The self-sprout. The treants. The bear. He's dead. Extra vertical height for the impetus.
What a feeder, man! This guy, how many deaths is he gonna have?
I mean,
Steam's-
he's got
Steam's
60% of the deaths. Like, wow.
Wow,
I mean, what else can you say? Possibly kicked coming up soon? Who knows?
dude! Ocean's surge. He's charging in.
Who needs a blink dagger, right? Toss back. There is, however, an ulti this time, but he's not even pressured to throw it out. They've already killed Ocean. Ice is just trying to be a big guy and not throw this out. He really doesn't want to ult. Not necessary. So Spy's just doing loops and circles here, waiting for a nice Ravage. Gets it, and that's setting up
The
for the
axes
easy
right
axe
here.
stacks. Stack in axes. Stack in axes. And you're dead. Gunner, the surge, not going to be enough to save him. There's the ulti flowing down. Poison Nova. Brax will die before he can deny himself to Roche. And Husky being taunted by Crit as, there he goes.
All right, that should be a little Aegis action for the Beastmaster here.
Damn. That was kind of savage by Crit to just let him walk away and die, I have to say.
12 stacks
BM
of
there.
Wild axes on. Yep, those are doing like 700 damage to Roshan, by the way.
Very fair and balanced.
Yes, those are fine.
All right, now if they removed the plus damage, this is went from plus 40 to plus 30. If they put it back down to what it was pre-patch, when he still had the Necro, do you think people would still go this build, or do you think it'd just be dead?
So you're saying the Ags, what would the Ags do? Just remove cooldown?
Just the cooldown. It's probably bad at that point, right?
And it doesn't increase the damage?
No, it would still do the stacks. Because that was like, before the patch, all the Ags did was the cooldown. And it
Yeah.
still did the percent thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe it was better than people gave it credit for before.
Oh, actually, it did lose a lot of the mana cost too, though, to be fair. That's a good point. Like 80 to 65, that's a lot more axes, so...
I
Maybe
feel
with
like
just the mana changes, it was okay.
And the changes to all the runes and stuff too, right? Like Beastmaster
yeah,
obviously goes
true.
bottle, and he's also got Soul Ring, so he's pretty much just spamming it.
Well,
every time the
I
axes
just
come back.
think there's only one way you can find out, Ice Frog. Why don't you nerf it down to that?
Oh,
We'll just see
RTZ
what
might be in
happens.
trouble here. He has the Aegis. They didn't give it to Beastmaster.
Oh, there you go. All right, so he will... I mean, they knew who was going to die next, so that makes sense. So RTC goes down, but they're coming in with the bear. Ovid throwing some axes, and there's another TP cancel.
And
Tries
that
once
is
more.
what we
but-
call the Arteezy Aegis. All right. I'm not trying to flame here, but this is something Arteezy is well known for. It's like dying with the Aegis immediately after he gets it on the other side of the map by himself.
What's the line he drops after that?
The chat, I don't even remember, man. I don't even know what I don't know how he talks anymore, so it's hard to say. I mean, he never streams, so what can
That's
you do?
true. You know. Wow, nice slam. Get him with the feeds and the not streaming. You're all over him right now. Giving hope.
It's all
to,
just
to
for,
the
it's all just for
Zoomers.
fun.
No, I thought it was super serious, guys. Come on. Just little Nick has lost with it. Damn.
All right, Abed continuing to farm. Maybe there's a window in the late game where Ursa is just too farmed, and
Unnecessary slams. Just little Nick has lost. How are you just gonna name and shame the one dude who loses Beastmaster axes? You know Nick's watching this game. Leave him alone, Knoxville. He's NA. You know he's a European. He's turning NA. It's beautiful.
Ocean's in trouble top.
Yeah.
But
He's,
ports in from Dire. They're gonna fight it.
There we go, but there's also the Poison Nova, the Fear out, holding back this Ravage. Now it goes off. Sammy Boy, though, isn't raged up there as he gets roared, so that'll wear off a little bit quickly, but not quick enough. Still goes down, Crit with a double kill, and now the Savage Roar to help drive them back, but Gunner gets sprouted. Crit's still chasing in, and they will manage to find themselves a way out of there, but it's a forfeit of the tower and 2 heroes for the cost of a Venomancer, as Sammy Boy says. Fuzzy was.
Yeah, so now Fly's actually going for the Yules. They could have maybe done a little different their items a little differently, like let Fly get Solar Crest and Mirana just sort of rushes the Yules.
Mm-hmm. Now they'll just have multiple Yules for this poor Ursa.
Yeah. Well, that's that I would consider that like a thing of luxury, right? Based on like how well the game is going.
Oh, Ocean trying to find something there, but gets the top. Not the Mirage. Gunner's eyeing up the Shard next after his MKB. So this is the empowers allies in the AoE with 20% movement speed, 60 attack speed for 5 seconds, and applies a basic Dispel.
Which hero are you talking about?
The Lone Druid.
Gotcha.
And it seems like we're losing. Maybe we win a fight, Shard.
Yeah, well, I mean, the game is usually decided on second Roche, so if... I don't know about buying the Shard. I mean, I guess maybe... Yeah, maybe the only item he needs on Bear is MKB. Not sure. Let's see, what timings do they have coming? SNY completed on Ursa. That's a nice timing for them. Maybe they'll wait for Shard.
Yeah, they have the big Greaves on the Darkseer too. Blink on Tiny. You know, maybe with a smoke they could find something here. It's an 8k deficit, so it certainly won't be easy. But if you can get that quick annihilation of one hero, you know, kill someone who's worth 8k gold and we're all even done.
They're killing the
definitely
Bear.
how Dota works. No, that can't be happening. Oh, come on, Bear. Come on, get the heal. There you go.
Ooh, clutch. Husky with the heals here.
Very good, very good.
They're owning.
Wow, Zoomers are back. That's all it took. You know what else is back, though? It's Ravage. So Fly ready to waddle his way back in there and be the big bulwark in front of his squad.
Yeah, EG's really greeding out. They're like kind of slowly pushing mid with 3 heroes, and Abed is farming his side of the map. And Arteezy is also just like on his side of the map farming as well. They have
Moonlight Shadow. As they initiate, that's going to put out the Ravage. I think that was a vacuum in the middle of all that, but yeah. There goes the wall as well, but they're going to bring in Arteezy as well as Abed now. Everybody's arrived for the party. Ice Ice actually gets out of there, even with the wall illusion chasing him, will survive. Now back in the middle of the fight there, Arteezy BKB'd up. He's deciding to get out of there. Not enough
track, or in this case Beastmaster, that almost always go the Boots of Travel, you know, because it synergizes with their hero particularly well. But when you have a Furion, that, you know, that Boots of Travel farm that you would usually get is kind of already taken by the Prophet, so it can be a little bit of a lost value item in my eyes.
Wow, quite the call there from the Zoomers. They actually backed away with only Fly being there. Same Blade drew a big smoke. So this is their play. chum in the mid lane. And they might just find their best friend Arteezy farming Ancients here.
Yep, 25 Ancients are about to spawn.
Oh, they know. They know something's up here. He's out of there.
And nobody pushing bottom. Nobody defending top. Roshan.
Yeah, Yulesov can't get off his combo. Still has the toss, but doesn't have anything. Oh, there's the vacuum onto a lot of heroes, though. That's going to get the illusion.
Nice
Gunner.
roar.
With the fear again. Do we have any more damage to stack up in here? It's the axes that are stacking, and now the Ravage, too. Fly onto Gunner.
Ursadin
the Spear Vessel as well. And, oh, there he goes, indeed. No ult used. Now Gunner trying to Savage Roar with the speed to get away. Has some stacks of the axes. So he wants to escape. My God, those things go far. Brax running away from the Sprouted Nature's Prophet gets Yules up into the air. And they will have to follow up Gutch there, too. And they get him before the end of the TP. Now Gunner brought down in the end.
The axes, right? You throw them full range onto the enemy, and then you blink onto the enemy. Yeah, he blinked, and it just, like, he just blew up. The laundry room.
That was nice. Yeah, I think he had a few stacks on him already, too. So he just hit them with the double. That is some flashy plays there from Abed. Oh, that was almost something from the Zoomers with the positioning. I like what they went for. They even had really good vision. You know, there's like a triangle of wards there that they had in that whole area, and unfortunately still not able to get them the good fight. The Ravage, as well as you point out, the fact that Sameboy couldn't get that ulti off. Really hurting them.
He jumped in, he was on top of his target. He had no reason not to use it. Just late, you know.
Yeah. Man, this 5 tied has been a real thorn in their side this game.
Sameboy, the
0-1 and 14.
Like boomer with those slow hand reactions.
Got him.
Yeah. And there's another Roche. This is second Roche. That's going to be a shard. Who's getting the shard?
Again. Oh, that's a great question.
Arteezy,
Throw
right?
it down.
It's good on Prophet. The big ass treant spawns and just starts hitting you, blocking you.
I mean, some lot you're gonna be able to do there. So, Cloak of the Flames now gotten for Arteezy here as we start grabbing up our neutral items. Oh, as well as the Orb of Destruction. Perfect. Now Arteezy's really hurting hard.
These core players, man, do you see that? Like, Abed max minning on the Ancient Stack, instantly kills it, and then instantly TP somewhere else, but a neutral item drops on the ground. He's like, somebody else has got to get that.
It's not my job.
Or at the moment.
Got a couple in one team fight. No big deal. While they're pushing this top lane, they also have Arteezy pushing